continuing on Google Hangouts to allow other folks to get their input on the message having to do with prenups. So I'm going to drop the link. Where is the chat? Okay, here it is. There's the chat. There's the link. Feel free to jump in. Feel free to jump in. Let me put my headset on. Hey, Gigi, how you doing? Yeah, I see we got a couple of viewers. So, jump on, please. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. Well, in any case, what I will do is just recap what I said early. I was saying to folks that Char Willie gave me the idea to do this live stream when she and I kind of had a little exchange during Angry Man's live stream about Jesse Williams and his financial issues. Yeah, that he's divorced from his wife. That would be the actor who appeared on the show Grey's Anatomy. And I basically said that prenup, the real message contained within prenuptial agreements is 4 words. I don't trust you. And how do you get married to somebody you don't trust? So, and I just read an article that was in the New York Times from back in 2013. It was an op-ed, opinion piece that basically said the same thing I did. Gigi said, I'm doing very good. She was thinking of this issue just before I dropped the video. It's funny. You're right. Trust in everything of the West is everything in the West. Don't get married. Yes, trust. It's a dicey thing. Don't get me wrong. Zero Kelvin, Quad B's back on the YouTube. Carl Winslow is back. Carl, like I said, man, I had a bunch of people in this high school I was working at who called me Carl Winslow. And all I said was, yeah, and I wish I had his wallet. Of course, for those of you who don't know Carl Winslow, for those of you who don't know who Carl Winslow is, he was the actor Reginald VelJohnson, who also played the police officer in the first Die Hard movie with Bruce Willis way back then. All right. Judges are throwing. Oh, really? Judges are throwing out prenups. I didn't know that. Aren't they? Wouldn't they only throw them out if Freelance Ronin? Good to see you, by the way. Wouldn't they be throwing them out only if they were signed under quote unquote duress, like right before, like the day before the wedding? Here, dear, I need you to sign this. That would be thrown out, but I don't know. The words are let's make a deal. Yeah, okay, Monty Hall. Hey, come on. Okay, come on. Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on, you guys. This is the first time I've done a live stream on OBS and then switched over to Google. Welcome back, you guys. Yeah, come on in. Let me drop the link one more time. Please come in, and I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. And so far, I'm still the only one here. We've got 8 people watching. Let's see, we got 8 people watching and 5 likes, which is good. So Dollar Will says, I never been married, so what do I know? We might have to start getting married without getting the state involved. Yeah. Here was another question. Speaking of the state, it was another question I had. Those of you who peeped, I don't know if you have, those of you who peeped an HBO series called Big Love about a dude from Utah who was a polygamist. He was a businessman. He owned this big hardware store, and he had 3 wives. Here's the thing: if you have consenting adults who want to do a plural marriage thing type of arrangement, why should the state care? Just curious. Yeah, Dollar Will, you saw some of it? Yeah, Tom Hanks was sort of an executive producer on it. I'm going to tell you what, I loved that damn show because it was just crazy. I mean, really and truly, the dude was married. He was married to the character played by Joan Triplehorn. And Joan Triplehorn, was it? That was the marriage that the state recognized. But then he ended up marrying a nurse caretaker who helped take care of his first wife while she was sick. So he married her in the eyes of the Mormon church. Then he ended up marrying a chick who worked in his store. So he ended up with 3 wives. He almost ended up with 4. And then he ran for state office and won, and introduced this entire family to his supporters, and they were looking at him like, "What?" Oh, that was funny as hell. A real marriage should be done without the state involved. The state incentives women to divorce, so women have no need to put effort in to make marriage work. Ooh. Oh, strong statement, man. Strong statement. Okay, who's on? Okay, I see BGS here. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Quad?
Nothing much, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Good. Thank you for hopping over here to the eastern side of the country. So, like I said, Char Willie gave me the idea to go on and talk about prenups. And I know that
about
prenups.
It's a good idea, but sometimes the execution kind of falls short because they're not bulletproof.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem with it. In other words, they can be thrown out.
Of course,
and
yes.
And they have been.
Mm-hmm. But usually, aren't they thrown out when it's seen that when the aggrieved party who had the paperwork shoved in his or her face on the day before the wedding or shortly before the wedding claims that, in other words, they claim that, well, he made me sign this and it's kind of under duress. I didn't have a chance to review it. Isn't that usually when they're
or they didn't have proper representation, or just the judge, or just the judge doesn't like it?
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's all it takes is a judge not to like something.
Yeah, because the judge doesn't have to recognize their prenup.
Okay, got it. Okay. But
there was a famous case in New York, I think it was, where this guy, I think he was an investment banker or something like that. He was worth over $100 million, and before he got married, he said he wasn't going to marry her without a prenup. And so she signed the prenup, and when they got divorced, she said, "Well, he made me sign it under duress because he said he wouldn't marry me without the prenup."
Oh, okay.
So in other words, that's all she had to prove.
Well, that's a chance you have to. I guess that's a chance you take. But
I guess it's better with it than without it.
But I guess if I had $1 million in 1986 and my wife only had 10 grand, I still would have married her without a prenup because of and I'm not saying I am not saying this to brag, but this woman is of such impeccable character that sometimes she drives me nuts. You know.
Well, I tell you what, if the situation was reversed and she had $1 million, you had 10 grand, you'd have had to sign a prenup.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
The women pushing prenups, women with means of pushing prenups more than men.
Really? Why is that? Why is that?
Because mama protects her money.
Okay.
That's like, you don't hear this big uproar about prenups anymore because women are doing it more than men.
Oh, okay. Got it. Well, I just asked my wife, oh, so you don't trust? Well, again, you don't trust me? Okay, fine. All right. So anybody else want to weigh in on this topic? Char? Oh, I know Char says they're needed.
What's trust got to do with it?
Spoken like a Chicago girl, too.
Oh, what's trust got to do?
That's a Chicago girl for you.
Oh my God! What's trust got to do with it?
They keep it real.
Well, you had mentioned trust, and I'm like, well, what's trust got to do with it? Because it depends on when you get married and the assets that you have. So I would think that everyone would want to protect each other. Because let's see. So you're right at 60. I'm at 50. So you have children that are not fully grown, and let's say I get angry at you and I divorce you, then I'm able to get more from you, and you have children to support, and we don't have any children between each other. So I walk off into the sunset. So how would that be fair to you?
Okay. Like I said, this was just a conversation starter. What's trust got to do with it? I'm gonna have to make a picture of you, a meme with you, Char. What's trust got to do with it?
That's his song too.
Yeah.
Really?
That could be a song.
Yeah, the black divorce rate is about almost 80%. So.
And I've heard so many horror stories where some states you can be married to someone for just 10 years, and even though you're not together, you can get their pension.
Oh, it's California. Yeah, California's like that.
Oh God, really?
And so you have a lot of guys actually getting divorced before the 10-year mark.
Wow.
So it's just a protection if it's supposedly it's supposed to work. So it's just something to put in place. You all googly eyes when you marry. So, hey, if it don't work out, you got that already signed and ready to go.
Because the prenup don't work in like some states after 10 years, does it?
It depends more on the judge than it does on the state, because the judge. I've never heard of any state that says the judge can't throw it out.
Okay, I've heard like some judges do that, but I wasn't sure.
Oh yeah, I've heard. Oh yeah, who was that? There was a few cases in California. There was one in New York with an investment banker where her reason for saying that she was under duress because he said he wouldn't marry her without it.
Did he in fact say that?
He said I wasn't. He said if you don't sign this prenup, I can't get married to you.
$100 million, huh? He was worth.
Oh yeah.
Wow. So he was afraid. So he was afraid she'd clean him out. Is that what?
Oh well, yeah. Well, it turned out to be prophetic.
Oh God. Oh,
I think she. I don't know how much she got out of it, but the judge did throw the prenup out. But I don't think he was married to her that long. I think it was like maybe 5 or 6 years. I don't think they had any children.
Well, I guess I was lucky. Both me and my wife, both me and Mrs. Bamboozle started out with squat. So
Oh yeah,
now we're kind of up to squat and a half.
Hey. In other words,
Well,
you don't. I guess she says it's cheaper to keep you, huh?
yeah, she said it was cheaper to keep me. Yeah, she'll tell you that in a minute. 'Cause my ass was a mess for a long time.
At least you can admit it.
What's that?
At least you can admit that.
I can admit it. Yeah, I was a mess, and I won't get into all the dirty. I may have touched on some of the gory details during Charles Gilmore's hangout on marriage, but yeah, I was a mess. And yeah,
Spill the beans, Quad. Spill the beans.
yeah, I'm gonna let you know. I'll leave that to your imagination, bro.
You were a reporter out there in the street, so you
That's
probably
right.
a
That's
whole lot of
right.
things to talk to a whole lot of people.
That's right. And some of them wanted to talk to me right back, including, and as I've said before, Chard, you might remember, including a certain person who's well known on YouTube that I knew back in the day.
Oh
yes.
Yeah. Low key tried to flirt. I'm like, no, baby, can't do that. we got to keep a line. We got to draw that line. But Lord knows, I talked to a whole lot of people, more than I should have. That's for damn sure. But and then I asked my wife, okay, so why are you like setting me up for the kill? Are you like, why are you so nice to me after all this? You know what she said? She said, it ain't about you. I take seriously my vow to God. I'm like, okay. And I just walked away. I just said, all right. I couldn't say anything.
Good for her.
Yeah, she's she's something.
Although you felt about an inch high, huh?
Yeah, I felt like, yeah. You remember, there was an episode of the Flintstones where Fred he had thought he was talking shit during a, a costume party, and he was talking crap to a dude that turned out to be his boss wearing a bird head, and at the end, each time he saw his boss the next day and said, yeah, this is the thing I was wearing. Yeah, you should have heard some of the things I said. Oh, the things I said. And each thing his boss said, Fred shrunk smaller and smaller and smaller. And you know what that reminded me of too? That picture of Angela Merkel looking at Trump. I had wanted to get that picture of the Flintstones and juxtapose the two, but never could. For those of you, if you don't know what I'm talking about, forget it. A lot of times, you know me, I'm a baby boomer who grew up watching Joe and Bill's cartoon characters back in the day. So, yeah. Hanna and Barbera. So
Barbera. Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
Quick Draw McDraw.
Oh yeah, Quick Draw. Oh yeah. I just when I was starting my live stream, I usually do this thing where I say who would win in a battle to the death, and I'll give you two characters. And today they were Paul Rugg, the first mumble rapper, and then Breesley Bruin, who is a polar bear. I gave the edge to Breesley because he lives in the cold. Sorry. Okay, fine. Now that we've
extended clip.
Sure. What's that? What was that? I'm sorry.
He said send
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. How you doing?
Good evening. Long time listener. Good evening, Master Teacher. Good evening.
Hey.
Quad B.
Good
to hear you guys.
How you doing, brother?
Good.
Doing well. Good to hear you guys.
Weigh in. Okay, so weigh in on what's Truss got to do with it. That's good.
What's Truss got to do?
You know what? That should be the title. The title of my video.
Man, that's heavy. I wanted to weigh in on BGS's on the arranged marriage portion, because I've been married 10 years, and it was somewhat of an arranged, it was an arranged marriage in a way, being that I'm from America and my family is from, East Asia. So, or not East Asia, more in the Indian subcontinent. So, being that that's where she's from, Islamically, that's how you have to, kind of come in the door. And it's worked out lovely. It is a big cultural, kid from Oakland married to, somebody from but I'm open to the cultural curve, and I'm patient with all that. But at the same time, it does have its. I'd say that would be the only way, really, to agree to a contract of sorts of marriages is if it was arranged in a way, because it's business anyway.
Yeah, yeah, and in an arranged marriage, since the two families have to, they're actually targeted with actually keeping the couple together. So if they've arranged the marriage, they pick your husband, and you go to your mama and say, my husband thus and thus and so. She said, okay, this is what you do, but you need to go back to your husband and talk about it, because you're not getting divorced. Because you're gonna look down on. Yeah, they're gonna almost shun you if you get divorced in an arranged marriage.
Yeah, that's true. Although there was a lady I worked with who was from India who told me that she was part of an arranged marriage, but somehow she got out of it. I don't know how. I wouldn't know. And the other thing she told me was, she said, "Well, I also believe that sex is for procreation." I'm like, okay. So assuming that you had sex with your husband, how did you get away without having any kids? But I didn't get that deep with her.
On the topic of that arranged marriage, what happens is almost like a big bank take little bank. So what it is a business. On my thing, it was, pretty much, American past, that there is an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the thing, and that's okay. That's okay too, as long as I'm getting my needs met. There's a system. So when there's fair exchange, there's no robbery. It does work to, you know what I mean? It does work. Along with trust, that never can. For 10 years in, I know if they're lying to me, so that never left, But yeah, when I say big bank take little bank, referring to hypergamy earlier, when I typed in chat hypergamy and hypersexuality of America, when those collide, it's just like, freak it, anything goes. There's no more rules. And that's what the covenant, the covenant of marriage is rules. It's just a structure. It's nothing to bind you down. It's to actually uplift and to, you can basically, co-socialize, the economics. You could just build from that, but it has to be a fair exchange. But like I said, I've seen it kind of go bad also, where a rich family is basically just taking advantage of a poor family over there, and it basically he has his way with her, or and that's unfortunate too, And that probably happens more or less in arranged marriage. That happens probably more than anything, and then the woman becomes subjugated to the family that she basically got traded to. You know what I'm saying? It's like if the pawn gets to the other side of the board, and then queen, you get another queen.
Traded sounds like a wife for a player to be named later.
Yeah, there's layers to it too, man. It's a trip, man. It's a trip.
It's funny. Me and my wife met in 1980 in 81 in Philly, and in January. By that summer, her parents and my parents and she and I were having dinner at her parents' house. And I thought to myself, this is, what's going on here? Am I being set up?
Yes.
I was.
No, you being interviewed. That's what happened.
Being interviewed.
Yeah.
The whole family, both families were interviewing each other. And now today, oh God, our families are so intertwined. It's incredible. Yeah. It's like if I divorced my wife now, everybody be looking at me. I'd have to leave. I'd have to leave the country because everybody would be looking at me side-eyed.
Yeah, because when a woman leaves or tries to leave with the kids, where's she going to run to?
Back home.
Go back home. And what is it? So if her parents are telling us that, okay, you've been here a week, go back to your husband.
Yeah.
It was. What if the husband's abusive though, physically?
Oh, then if it's arranged marriage, then who does she appeal to? She appeals to his family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what black women do anyway. If you're that's the first person they want to get. The first person a black woman wants to know is who your mother is.
Your mama.
She wants to know your mama.
Your mama.
In case you get abusive, she knows who to call.
Mm-hmm. And Lord knows, oh
Yeah.
God, yes.
Yeah.
I have had my mom and I've had my mother and father called on me. And I was, and I was pissed. Oh,
yeah.
God, I was pissed.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't do, no, don't get me wrong. I didn't smack I didn't do it. I wasn't physically abusive or any of that shit. Okay.
No, but you were out doing some late hour reporting though.
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah. This is. I'm gonna have to make this slot live.
No judgment. Free judgment Monday. No judgment.
No judgment.
Okay.
It's a safe place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, you had a what is it? A source. Okay, there.
Okay, I had a source.
And you couldn't reveal.
Yeah, I've had my share of sources, that's for sure. And they weren't always for story tips, but I'll leave that alone. I was a mess. I was a mess back in those days, man. Oh my goodness. But I'm better now, I think.
all jobs have to have perks.
Yes, they do. And getting out of the office is a huge perk. So who else is on? Is there anybody else who wants to jump in here? Someone said undercover work. Yeah. Anyone else wants to jump in? But Shar, you had the line of the night. What's Truss got to do with it? I love that. Shar is so fun. Shar is so funny.
Hey, well, heck, you're gonna need contracts to have sex in a minute if Me Too hasn't his way about it.
Dude, like Dave Chappelle had that love contract.
Yeah, I'm talking about. I was telling some of my guys, y'all need to start an app. You know, where you have a smartphone and before you do, you have to have a thumbprint. It's signature for the contract to engage in this.
Matter of fact, Quabi, I think me, you, and Ruby had conversation on Discord talking about that at one point in time.
Yep. A smart contract, thumbprint, and actually transfer $1 to her account. Okay, that seals the contract because you've been paid $1. $1. So you can't. Yeah.
The Wall Street bill.
Yeah. So you're paying way $1. That's enough to make the contract valid. So when she comes 30 years later, Your Honor, he had sex with me against my will. No, I didn't. What do you mean? There's the contract with her thumbprint. And she was paid $1 for services rendered.
That is so hilarious. That is so hilarious. Oh my goodness. I can't imagine. Well,
Card declined.
Declined. I don't know. These days they talk about in marriage, you might need in actual marriage, you might need contracts to do that. Dear, it's 7:30 on a Tuesday. I think it's that time. Okay.
Can I hit the app? Yeah, thumbprint real quick.
Can I get your thumbprint real quick? Yeah. Oh my goodness, that is hilarious. Oh my God.
And what's going to end up happening is going to get thrown out once because it was smudged. Then they're going to start with the eye, the retina.
Speak up, Char.
You kind of low.
Can you hear me now?
Not quite.
How about now?
Oh, yeah.
You sound great.
Perfect.
Okay. I said what they're going to end up doing, they're going to be a case where the thumbprint was smudged and it's going to be thrown out of court. They're going to start with the eye retina, and they'll win that way.
And get videotape of her thumbprinting and doing the eye retina and all that, so she can't say that was under duress.
Yeah, look into my eyes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man! You're gonna have to start having a contract to take a pee in a minute. Please.
These days, I do feel like, hey, these days I feel like I need a contract to take a pee. I do. Yeah, I do. I had a live stream. It was called Incontinence. It's a fact of my life. Check it out. I don't mind talking about. Yeah, it was. Yeah, these days, it's these days it ain't easy.
Yes, it's not for sissies, huh?
No, man. That prostate cancer ain't no joke, bro. Ain't no joke. Yeah, and the treatment ain't no joke either. And
prayers, brother, prayers.
Yeah, well, I'm good. I'm good now. Trust me, I'm good. It's just when BGS said, "Yeah, you need a contract to take a pee." That's how I feel sometimes. I have to.
Hey, where you think you going? You gonna go pee? Sign this contract real quick. Like jumping and moving around, trying to sign. Like, all right.
Yo, come on, man. I gotta go. Look, can we do this later? Can we do this in a minute? And then I'm running. And then I'm in an office, right? The first office I'm in is a few feet from the men's room. Then they move me all the way around to another part of where the men and let me tell you something. The men's room. The closer you get, the worse. The faster you walk, the closer you get, the worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, man, I'm walking around with a prostate that's burnt to a crisp and 87 spent radioactive pellets.
Wow.
And yeah, as I said, the doc told me that if I died within 6 months of the procedure, I'd have to be buried, not cremated. Otherwise, I'd be radioactive.
Oh, wow.
You'd have a radioactive urn, glowing on the mantelpiece. So, anyway, so what else about? What is the future? So, the future of prenups. What's the future look like? Are they going to go away? Are they going to stay?
I think they're probably going to stay. It might even be if you have to have contracts to have sex, then the next step is contracts to have a marriage. That's the next step.
Wow.
For those that it'll probably won't even be the same old state marriage anymore. Just a contract. And say, okay, we want to hook up and say we're going to get married. So okay, we're going to exchange contracts. Have the lawyers involved.
Mm-hmm. Somebody, Dollar Will said Dollar Will, what is a performance clause?
4 times a week.
4 times a week. Okay. Okay. And 4 times a week, and during each, and will there be prescribed actions to be taken during each encounter?
Yeah, that can be negotiated.
That can be negotiated. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So hand jobs, blow jobs, all that stuff can be actually written into the contract.
Yes, and diving. In other words, and a man diving in head first, like Greg Louganis. Yeah, okay. Yeah, driving in like Greg Louganis and going straight in with no splash, and the judges give you a 10.
Fish fry.
Oh man. And she'd enjoy it, I think. Oh God, no! Oh my goodness! But and now you've got these robots. You've got robots. You've got Could you?
How is the state of marriage in general headed into the future? I don't even see it necessary. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It seems weird now without a lot of kids and the birth rate going down and just the resources in the world and famine and war and the dark news. Where's marriage even headed? Outside of religion.
I think it's more of going to be, like I said, not state sponsored. And I think it's going to be more of a communal.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that, yeah.
Who would agree to it though? You know? Who would commune on it, or who would come? Who would, you know, what does that mean exactly? I'm understand.
Well, it's almost headed that way, like that the polyamorous lifestyle.
Yeah.
Which is basically a communal marriage.
Wow.
I'd like that if I could afford it.
Well, you wouldn't have to. It'd just be agreed upon, and then, you know, the each member would contribute to whatever they can. So it wouldn't be just you with 4 wives. It'd be, you know, you'd have, you know, 4 men, 4 women, or 5 men and 5 women, and basically you share in the communal marriage.
Wow. That's going to take a learning curve.
That's going to be a major
well, not really. We do it already anyhow.
We just do it undercover. That's what it is. Like I said, we just do it in the guise of, I got a tip here. I got to run. I got a tip from this guy I got this tip from the guy, from some city worker. I got to go. Oh, man. I got Dollar Will here talking. He's talking about performance clauses, prostitution charge. The woman will sue you because you cheated with a robot.
Well, only in the UK will that happen. Anything goes. They will sue for anything.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of those robots, and I'm trying to imagine a man like.
I'm sure it'll be recorded soon. You'll be able to see it.
No, there was a black guy that was actually recorded him with his robot, with his sex doll.
There you go.
Oh man,
yeah, he had 2 of them. He had 2 of them.
He had 2 of them. I thought I only seen 1.
No, he had 2.
He had 2.
And
wow.
And here's the thing: how much data? How much data is that doll going to send back to the manufacturer?
All of it.
All of it.
Hey, Charlie Willie, I can hear the first time out with the guy and his doll, and doll sends back the message. Or
the doll, or it could be meh. Got that too.
But I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be some hackers, and they're gonna blackmail the people. Like, oh, I got all your information here. I got pictures here. You were doing this, and you made this shady deal. You got to pay me. All from the doll.
Oh yes, sir. You know the NSA and the CIA be getting all the information too. Because you know, like it was a company, they gonna anything with data gonna go to the government anyway.
The NSA, CIA,
yeah, pretty much, yep.
FBI.
Gonna be sold out.
So, how much do those dolls run anyway? What do they run these days?
Let's see.
Dude, more money you want to spend?
It depends on the doll. Anywhere from $1,500 all the way up to whatever you want to spend.
Okay.
And the robots are a little bit more. The robots started, I think, like 20.
Okay. Kendra, DJ Fish Grease, what's up? I'm cooking with essential everyday corn oil. Not quite like fish grease, but we're cooking, dear.
Y'all, I came to crash this hangout. What y'all doing up in here now? Just playing.
He's clean.
I thought you was on your way to bed.
Man, I should be in bed, but I ain't in bed, man. I'm rebellious tonight, man.
I thought you were gonna be watching Luke Cage tonight.
It's in the next room playing. I need to stop it and go back because I only will watch like 2 or 3 episodes. I really just need to back it up because it's been playing. I've been in here cooking, missing the show, whatever, man.
Another season of it?
Yeah, I'm on episode 6.
So who riled up the evil twin?
Man, some ignorant folk in my comment section trying to police how I talk. I'm quite aware of when I'm using profanity, how I'm using it, how much of it I use. I know how to articulate when I get ready to. I know how to talk without cursing. But when I get ready to curse, who gonna stop me, boo?
Mm-hmm.
He said, "You said I said 100 curse words. I only said 20."
Right. So, they don't tell me what to say. They
I
don't tell
heard
me
you.
what to say.
Yeah, I heard you. I heard you going in on BET today, Kendra. I was proud of you. Cause like you, I don't watch that shit either.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
some
not
would
watching
too.
that. It's stupid. And they were clowning so bad on it. I had to say something, and I know it was staticky, but I did it on my phone. The fan was like 2 feet away from me, but I had to capture the moment because
Mm-hmm.
if I waited like 20 minutes, I wasn't gonna feel the same way. But they clown so bad on that BET and the way it just subverts the mind. If you're not awake when you watch stuff like that, you'll get sucked in to all of the crap that they're showing you, and you won't
Mm-hmm.
even be able to process it on your conscious mind, but your subconscious will process all of it and
Mm-hmm.
you'll act it out.
Exactly.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. The last award show it was actually it was a Miss USA pageant in 71, and the only reason I was into it was there was a woman from our neighborhood who was Miss New Jersey at that time. Her name was Brenda White. And yeah, and what else I remember about it was she didn't win, but they all did a number of Three Dog Night Spinning Wheel, which I thought was kind of cool. But that was all I remember. But other
Mhm.
than that, I haven't watched any award shows, beauty pageants, any of that crap, and I can't even remember. So
Yeah.
I feel you, but Kendra, we were here talking about prenups and marriage and all that good stuff, and I was hoping to hear your views. Char was like, "What's Truss got to do with it?" Which I thought was
Man,
great.
listen, if you got something to lose, you better get a prenup. You better get something.
Oh, really? See,
Yeah.
I came from it from the standpoint of, and I know you kind of broke away from Christianity, but I was looking at it from the standpoint of a trust issue
Hmm.
between two people. If you're in the faith, it shouldn't be an issue. But
And I get where you're going with that about trusting the people, but at the same time, you don't know how people will react under different circumstances.
true, true.
You don't know how people will change,
Mm-hmm.
what will affect them, or things of that nature. So when especially if there's something to lose in the event that there is a divorce, you're not hoping for a divorce, but there's always a preparation that needs to be made for any event because those who fail to plan to fail. So
Okay.
if you have a contract, which prenups shouldn't scare anybody because marriage is a contract itself.
True.
So a prenuptial is simply another layer of
Uh-huh.
said contract. So if you have something that you want protected in the event that this marriage breaks down, then you want that in your back pocket. And my thing is just be real with the person, what I'm saying, with your intended, and say, this is what it is. I'm not saying I want to get divorced. I'm not saying I think that you're going to be this, that, and the third, but this is just careful. And if that other person doesn't see what you're talking about or isn't in agreement, you may have to rethink that whole situation anyway.
Mm-hmm.
No, no, no.
Okay.
And I know from the Islamic marriage, they do what's called a mahar, which is a pre, not a pre, it's a pre, it's almost like a pre-gift. You come in good faith to say, look, as the man, as the provider, I'm here to take care of you. This is what I have by my means. It don't have to be a diamond
Right.
ring, but just something, a gift just to let her know, let her family know that, look, I ain't coming here. I'm coming here to build with you, not necessarily to take
Exactly.
anything. And then, so in the event, say I'm balling, I'm gonna, and we get divorced. You still got your little gift. Like Martin said, you came with that bag, right? You leaving with that bag,
All right.
And
Which
that's
is
kind
which
of the
is
thing.
which is actually
Fair.
interesting that you say that because my husband gave me a maher, and you know, it was according to his means.
Hmm.
It was something that was I agreed upon because he was thinking that I would want a ring, and I'm like, I don't what I need with that. I don't even wear rings or jewelry, so that's a waste of your money and my time. Cause I'm gonna put it on the dresser. You're gonna be mad at me because it's gonna be sitting somewhere get dirty.
Mhm.
So, I asked him at the time that we got married, this was like 98. I asked my husband for $2,000. And he said, "Why do you want $2,000?" I said, "Well, I want a sort of a high-end computer." And at that time, a PC, a desktop, will run you about $1,500, $1,600.
Mhm.
So I wanted a sort of high-end one. I knew how to build them, but I didn't have the money. And see, so he was kind of slick. So he said, "You want a computer, right?" I said, "Yeah." So he actually knew somebody that built computers, and he was able to get it for like $700 or $800. So he slicked his way out of the two stacks that I asked for. But I accepted it anyway because I actually did want to go get a computer with the money. That's what I was going to do with it. And the reason I wanted a computer was because I wanted something that I could work on, I could write, I could do other things, occupy my time in an educational way. He wasn't a very rich man, so it wasn't like I could say, well, what I'm saying, let's build a business together or give me this or that. I didn't want a lot of material things. I wanted that thing because I felt like it would benefit me personally. And he went ahead and did it. So you're right about the concept of the mahr in an Islamic marriage is his intent. It's a display of his intent
Mm.
toward
And it
her,
shows the
and the mahr
character.
goes to her. Yes, and it shows the character, and it's an agreed upon thing. So, but a prenuptial, man, I'm all for it. If that's something you think you need in a marriage, like we didn't need it because there wasn't no money. Like it wasn't like I was marrying him and he was a millionaire, and it was like he didn't want to get divorced because we didn't get married by the state anyway. We didn't get married by the state anyway. But if you're gonna get married by the state, you need legal paperwork because that is legal paperwork.
So you hold on. You didn't get. Hold on. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you
Yes, I
clear.
can.
Oh, okay. You did not get married by the state, huh?
No, sir.
How did that work? I mean,
Worked out
again,
just fine for me. The
okay,
Illinois no longer recognizes common law,
okay.
and it didn't at the time that I got married.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I didn't feel the need to get married by the state, and the reason he would not have minded. However, I had student debt, and Illinois is a shared debt state.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not want to marry my husband legally because I did not want the United States Treasury and Department of Education to come for his money, which they
Mm-hmm.
would have done gladly because I wasn't working. So they
Mm.
would have come for his money. And I didn't want them to start garnishing check. I didn't want that. So I was like, listen, we don't have to get married by the state. Well, we did an Islamic marriage. My family was there. His family was there. The people and the Muslims of the community were there. Everything was done publicly. And we were considered a married couple under a law. I don't need Illinois to tell me who I'm with.
I
Okay.
thought like all marriages were like all Islamic marriages were done like without the state anyway.
And I mean, it's up to whomever. It's up to the
I'm
two
on a phone
people
call.
to get married, whether or not they want to get married by the state. A lot of Muslims don't do it because polygyny is allowed, and you
Yeah.
can't marry multiple women by the state anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then it
we.
would be recognized if you got married. Like for me, I got married in another country. So in order to get her over here anyway, they recognize then at that point you have to get some kind of paperwork. Or if they're not going to even let you in the country, because then it could be trafficking, human trafficking. They don't know what it is. So there's some ways that you can't get around it, and then there's ways that you can't. Because now I'm over here 10 years later. I'm like, I don't care about that piece of paper in the closet. Who was you? You feel me? So
Right.
it can go either way. It can go either way.
Right. Hey, y'all, I'm finna step away for a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, and
So,
as far as what Kendra said, I didn't say it, but the fact that it's a contract, um, you're entering in it. So why can't I have a contract saying, well, if you leave,
Mm-hmm.
this is all you get or allowed to get? Why can't anyone put a cap on that? That's reasonable, regardless of Christian, atheist, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's fair. It's fair. It's very just.
okay. I see your point.
Yeah,
And
well,
they do that anyway. You know.
yeah. Yeah, well, it used to be that women, when women didn't think they had anything to protect, they were against it. But now it's not as much pushback about a prenup because women are actually asking for a prenup more than men are.
Wow.
Because they have more of the resources. Is that why? Or
Yeah, you got a lot more women that have more resources than the guy. A lot more breadwinning women. In fact, I think it's like what was it 2012 or 2013, where a third of the women were breadwinners, a third of the men were breadwinners, and then it was about 50-50 for the last third of marriages. So a lot more women are asking for prenups.
What's Truss got to do with it?
Mama don't believe in trust. Mama believe in contracts.
What's Truss but a second-hand emotion?
There you go.
Channeling my inner Tina Turner.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know I had one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not too many people that want to leave the next person happy. It's not too many. I haven't seen it. Just a few. Very few.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage is true because you have so much time to get to really know who you are. Forget them. You get 10 years. You get time to get to know. Like, man, I see my inadequacies. Like forget her or him. You get to learn about yourself. Because it's like a business. You're in the business, and you can tell if it's doing good or not. You can tell if it's profitable or if it's so it's just one of those things. It's like traveling. You're so in tune when you travel. The further you go, you're more attuned to what language they're speaking, what's the currency, what's the culture. So marriage is kind of like that. The deeper you get into it, the more, the more tuned you get to yourself. So it could work. It could be, a positive tool too.
And for some reason, women, they have resentment. They have a lot of resentment.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on what side of the paper the money's on. Because if it's on if they have more money, they're not resentful of a prenup.
Wow.
When it's your money, they're resentful of a prenup.
Okay.
Sharon is not caring.
Well, it was not. Well, it was an interesting question. I obviously on the Quad's end, he didn't worry about that way back when because, like I said, we were both starting out.
Oh well, the prenups weren't big back then. In fact, they were unheard of.
Yeah.
They were unheard of back in the early '80s.
Everything has changed once people got more options. That just did it. Even you have more options going to the washroom. You can wake up and say, you know what? I'm a woman, but today I feel like a man. You can go in the men's washroom. People got options nowadays. It's what it is.
It's funny. I walk into there's a bathroom on the first floor of the building I work in, and it is unisex, and I have to lock it, and it's a pain and that's less, and that takes up time, valuable time that I need to get my business done because it's more urgent. It's a lot more urgent these days than it was a few years back. Yeah. The capacity has diminished. The bladder capacity has diminished quite a bit. And so by the time I lock the door, it's like, oh, geez. But I see what you're talking about, Char. I mean, you got everything now is unisex, single stall, all that nonsense. I'm like,
Options everywhere.
Yeah.
Dating
Option.
options. You
Oh,
can
They
date
I mean
both
they even
people
trying
now.
to yeah, they even trying to do an option where you can try to get with your family member if you want
Oh,
to.
oh yeah, that's next. That's
what?
See
Get with your
What?
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 that's the real.
Where
That's
you
the
were
real.
like,
They're trying to get rid of that age of consent. That's the real target.
Oh,
Oh,
that's dark.
They just
That's
that's
dark.
what they're working up toward.
who is doing?
How old? What age? I
What's
mean,
the age?
Oh
I
man.
got me an 8-year-old, 9-year-old daughter.
They
12 maybe.
I think yeah
Ouch.
about the 12, 13, somewhere around there.
So
Mhm.
they want to increase the birth rate or the disease or what is the Center for Disease Control say about that?
Well, the only reason that you have an age of consent that's over the age, especially for women over the age of 18, is to make sure that women complete their schooling. Because I was in
Wow.
Ghana, when they were just changing over, and I asked, how come they increased the age of consent to 18? He said so that the women can actually um, complete high school before they
Wow.
start having babies or married off.
That's
So they
very
increase the age.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, and
Mhm.
I can see that even in East, my family, they call college over there. Basically, the high school age you can be in a college, and then basically a university, which would basically be the bachelor's equivalent over here. They call that university, but the girl is still only 18, 19. But because of what I see a lot over there is they educate the girl, but she's gonna jump right back into a, you know, what do they call it? A system of marriage, basically. What do they call? Is it called patriarchy, or is that what it's called? BJS, what is it called? Basically, they get married. So even if they do the school and they complete it, the women usually get married back again. They get back into to start their lives as traditional housewives, basically. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of that before.
Yeah, the age. It seems like they want them to be schooled, but at the same time, they want them to definitely have children and whatnot.
Wow.
But a lot of the schools, though, they are government schools. Schools, army or military government schools. So, I guess they want people to go to their schools, but at the same time, they want to still keep them oppressed. So, there's really not a lot of opportunity after they go to school anyway. But I found it odd when I went over there. There was so much schools everywhere. Damn, it's a lot of schools here. They must be, not a lot of critical thinking.
Wow. Okay.
I would definitely like to get over there. Were you speaking about zero? Who was just speaking? Was that
Extended. This is extended.
Oh, extended. Okay. Were you speaking about Ghana right now or somewhere
No,
else?
I was speaking about India or
India,
Pakistan to be specific.
India. Okay.
Pakistan, well, same area, but Pakistan to be specific.
Okay.
And yeah, like a lot of schools, from primary and a lot of it's military. So it's almost like a mental, like VJS was saying, based off that pressure school, the system. We want them the system so that they become workers and they become mental slaves and that whole thing. So you really see it because they're so impressed and so proud to have gone through school and college, quote unquote, but there's no critical thinking that comes from it. So it's like, it only serves the government,
Mm-hmm. Just like here. Like here.
Even worse,
Even worse.
Yeah, because they send them to school, they give them this dream, but they finish school and it's just like, okay, we got all this schooling, now what,
Oh well, yeah. There's no economy to actually absorb them.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I saw that in Egypt too when I lived there, and then all these very intelligent people, lawyers, engineers, you name it.
Yeah.
And the guy, he's a butcher. He works at the butcher shop. Like, wow.
Yeah. There's no jobs. Yes. You see that with a lot of people with PhDs here. If there's no calling for what your PhD is in, guess what? You're a barista at Starbucks.
Wow. Wow. And the resentment just mounts, and then the tensions mount, and then all kind of stuff mounts.
And then you have a purge where you crack down on the intelligentsias because they're not dissatisfied anymore.
Wow.
So they're the first ones to go. And if there's a revolution, the college educated the first ones to go. Want to get rid of them. They're the thinkers.
Yeah, taking a page out of Pol Pot's playbook, Khmer Rouge in Cambodia.
Oh, yeah.
That was what he did.
Oh, it goes all the way back to Chinese history.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not
new. Which age? Which dynasty? DGS like you know.
Well, that's just standard. You know, if you come in and if you're going to do a purge, who you take out the scribes. The people that carry the history. You train your own.
Wow. That's deep.
That's scary.
Yeah, in fact, Egypt used to do that too. Certain scribes, if you weren't part of the new order, they would take you out too, and they come and they change they actually scratch off the what was on the inscriptions. They actually remove them. So when they do a purge, some say that's how come not Imhotep, but what is his name? The Akhenaten, who they call the name Moses, was a radical pharaoh, and when he got booted out with the so-called Jews, okay, because he didn't believe in the old gods, and when the purge came, you know, he got booted out too.
I see that symbolism. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very true, man.
Yeah. So when there's a purge, the intelligentsia is some of the first to go.
Yeah, and I've lived that in my own personal life in a way because you know, one institution. I was almost as like, you know, religion is cool and all that, but it can be it is an institution, and if you get institutionalized, you get stuck. And then when I started reading and this and that, got on my purpose. Yeah, I was definitely, I am still target number one because now I'm free. Now I'm really sovereign, and man, it's a test like no other because physically you still got to maintain your physical. You still got to, you know, but you know, and you don't stand for oppression. But damn, man, when your mind is expanded and you're able to try at least to uncover different truths, you become enemy number one. You know, and yeah, you got to really keep rising and stay afloat.
You have to know where the line is. Okay, you really got to know where the line is and know when you're getting ready to cross it. And if you're gonna cross, you got to cross it for a reason, and you got to be willing to accept whatever comes with you crossing that line. But you got to know where the line is. It's best if you're gonna be out there like that, and you're really gonna get into what we call truth. You better have your what is it? Your barriers, your borders predetermined. What line am I gonna cross? What line am I not gonna cross? What price am I willing to pay and for what? And don't just do it just because I'm on some idealistic shit. because the penalties you might have to pay are not idealistic. So you got to have a real good reason for doing it.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's amazing. That's the best advice I ever heard.
Yeah, so I see a lot of young guys. I've heard it, a lot of old guys that actually got into doing that. You know, the counterculture, and they get old and said, if I had to do it again, I might not have done it. So you got to be real sure. You know,
it's hard, man. I told a guy yesterday, my manager, basically, I said, I ain't gonna coon. That's not me, man. You got me, you know. And it's not even a gangster hard tip. Just like I'm not coon. I don't even know how to do that.
Yeah, and you got to be willing to accept. You got to be willing to accept that L. So it is what it. Hey, because the L is gonna come, man, whether you accept it or not. Okay, the L is gonna come whether you accept it.
I looked at my bank account and said, "Hey, that's a big L.
That's a big L. It's a big shiny L. Yes, it is. And you got to be willing to accept it. And if you go in there idealistic, like it's not gonna matter, and when it does, you're gonna be in a very dark place. Trust and believe.
Wow. So it's like almost staying under that line, but you know, staying under it, but you know where
the line is, and if you cross it, you cross it for a reason. And so, when you cross that line, then okay, whatever happens, because I'm willing to accept whatever happens for crossing this line. What you don't want to do is not know where the line is, and then you cross it unconsciously, and then when that penalty comes, you all shook. You're all shook
That's the
because you
worst
know,
kind.
and then you get caught up in something that you didn't expect. So the thing is, if you're gonna do it, know where that line is, and don't cross that line unless you really know what the penalty is gonna be.
Okay. Okay.
Do it
Good.
consciously, and that way you can sleep at night. So okay,
Right.
if I do something that I know that I ain't supposed to be doing, and I don't, and I don't come home, okay, I've already made that decision, and I may not come home.
Mm. Mm.
And if you're not good with not coming home, don't do that shit.
I feel you.
Mhm.
Right.
But do it. Whatever you do it because you do it with purpose. Don't get out here and do this because it's oh man, I want to be free and I want to fight the man and fight the system. Don't do that. Okay. If you it has to be something that you know that's going to have an effect that's going to be worthwhile and it's going to be worth your sacrifice. If it ain't worth your sacrifice, I tell anybody, if it's not worth your sacrifice, don't do it. There's certain things I don't say because it's not worth the sacrifice.
But wait a minute, how you know the sacrifice is worth or not? Sorry, just cutting down.
If you don't know it, then you should not do it.
Okay.
Because when I'm going to do something, I already know what kind of trouble it's going to cause, and how much money it's going to cost certain entities by me just doing it. Because I said it takes billions of dollars to build a machine. It only takes one little nut that costs a penny to go in and screw up the whole machine. And that's what you want to be. If you want to do something, you find out where you throw that nut in that machine, actually jam that machine up and cause it to stop. And that's who you are. But the thing is, once you stop it and you cost a whole lot of people money, then they're going to find out who did it. And if your name pops up, then somebody's going to have to pay, and that might be you. So just like if you go to work, you know what to mess up, what not to mess up. And if you're going to mess it up, you're going to get fired. Are you ready to not have a paycheck? And if you're not, I wouldn't do it, right? You know what to do at work and what not to do.
Right. You have to keep it straight.
You have to keep it straight. So I say, if you're going to do it consciously. So, I can't tell people what to do, but I'm saying if you're going to do it consciously and be willing to pay whatever penalty there is for doing it.
Right. And that's the self-contract. That's truth, because it's universal and it transcends anything. And that's just law. Law is law,
Yep. But that's a question that came back in my head over and over. It's interesting that you actually bring this up.
Yeah, yes. well, because I've done it. So, there's a lot of there's some questions that come up even on my hangouts that I'm not going to answer.
Okay.
Especially on open air. I don't answer them. On open air, I'm not going to answer that. And in fact, I did that in my last hangout. I told them, I said, you Negroes aren't going to protect me, so I'm not going to answer that question. I'm not going to do this for you.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye.
See, it is what it is. So I tell it to anybody that's on that path. Know what you know. Go ahead.
Yeah, I remember. Oh yeah. So I remember having a similar conversation earlier, and I was telling this person, like, yes, it's like this world's like, like how the movie The Matrix is. If you become aware, then you might have to deal with them agents. They're gonna stop at nothing to get your ass.
If you're dangerous enough, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, or do you rise to the level of them coming after you? And that's what you have to determine. And you if you do the work long enough, you get a pretty good idea of when they're gonna come after you, and for what.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen many people like they'll find the truth and then they don't know where the line is. I've never seen it to the point like where somebody was just gone or something like that out the blue or nothing like that. But I've seen people lose their livelihoods over that.
What do you mean they don't know the line?
They don't know where the line is dangerous. Yeah, no, they don't know where it is because they don't believe that anything's going to happen to them because they believe in the lie.
Okay.
Gary Webb did that with Dark Alliance.
Oh,
yeah. and he believed that telling the truth at all costs was worth any price until it destroyed his career, and he wound up committing suicide, quote unquote, in a hotel 10
2
years
shots in
later.
the back of the head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't forget.
Yeah, I seen the movie they did about him a couple years ago, Kill the Messenger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't quite know where the line was until it was too late.
Yeah.
So and it's you know, he did a lot of damage.
Yeah, like when I got that book after I watched that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
BGS.
So it's real. But anyway, Quad B can tell you it's real.
We back to marriage and
Sure.
I came on this hangout, so I gotta put my 2 cents.
Oh,
right ahead.
I got married, but I'm from Morocco, like, you know, and so my husband married me, you know, a little bit in a very fashion way of Morocco. So he always treat me well. However, it ended up being a little bit of a mess, but it does not mean that I didn't do what I was supposed to do and not be mean, like, you know, try to get as much as I can. And the whole thing, the whole 9 yards. After at the end of the day, I mean, it's been 20 years. You know, you just don't be dishonest and try to be fair. You know, it ends up, yeah. So, like BGS was saying, it's to being honest and, you know, be real, and that's it. I mean, be fair. You know, and there is no 50-50. Sometimes it's 25-50. I mean, 25-70 or 25-60. But I'm saying you have to wear the pants, obviously. Sometimes here, after this episode, this is America. So I'm realizing that it's going to go this way.
Well,
basically.
Whatever agreement you come up with, that's the whole thing. Nowadays, it's whatever agreement you came up with.
Otherwise, I have to go back to Africa. You know.
After all these years, you can go back.
I go back somewhere else, maybe. Why not? I mean, just hang out in the corner somewhere.
But no, marriage is. It was for. Yeah, I get it. A lot of the bigger decisions were probably made by my wife in terms of where we would go. I mean, I acquiesced to her when she wanted to go to Denver to finish her school. Of course, that didn't happen because a couple of kids showed up. Yeah, they showed up. Okay. I hear that. BGS has that aha says, yeah, nigga, you set up.
It just showed up, huh?
They just showed up, yeah. They showed up.
And you just didn't happen to finish school because they just showed up, huh?
They just showed right up.
Yeah, okay.
Well, you know, inspiring and traditional and like back to the old school. That's refreshing to me. I don't know.
Did she finish her degree?
She's working on it now. She's working on her doctorate now, 30 years later. That's something she's wanted to do her whole life. So she's working on it now.
So, but she wanted to have children first, though.
Yeah, that sounds like what would happen. Because see, my thing was we were going to go out there. She would finish her doctorate, and then we return east, and then maybe think about having children. No,
that was your plan.
Out there. That was my plan.
Yeah.
You didn't
hear. Yeah. And she said,
Yeah. And next thing I know, we had our daughter a week before our first anniversary. Here's our daughter. Born on born on August 29th, 1987.
Yes,
She shares a birth date with Michael Jackson.
She spun that pill chart as soon as you walk down the aisle. She spun that pill chart. Huh?
I guess. As you can see, I knew nothing. I knew absolutely nothing about Hey, but they're grown. At least they're grown now.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's a bad thing. You're married. It's not a bad thing. It's you said we're gonna go out to Denver so she can finish her degree.
I said, that's what I said.
You said.
Yeah, and I'm not going to tell you what she told me after our daughter graduated. I have to. That's an offline conversation.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
She told me some things, and I'm like, okay, dear. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, after
communication is important.
After the fact, huh?
Yeah, we had some.
Do you think she didn't tell you then, huh?
No, she didn't tell me then. And then I was wondering, I was kind of wondering, wait a minute, hold up. I got a baby now? I'm like, and I'm gonna tell you, shit gets, as you know, BGS, shit get real when you got a kid. Shit suddenly got real.
Either you gonna man up or you gonna run. One of the two.
I manned up, but I manned up.
And trust and believe, everybody, the running goes through your mind.
Oh, trust me, there were many a day I thought about what would it be like to get on Qantas and just go to Australia
and never come back.
Just go to Melbourne or Sydney and never come back. Yeah, trust me. Those thoughts crossed my mind. Believe me. Now, why Australia? I don't know. I guess I wanted to see kangaroos or something.
Something like that, huh?
Play in that snow.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
What's that?
Play in the snow.
To what?
Play in the snow.
Yeah, that too. I hear the snow is quite powdery over there.
Yes, it is. You had some military buddies, huh?
Me? No, I didn't know. I didn't have any military buddies over there. No, I just thought about Australia just because it was that far away.
Oh, okay. Far enough away, huh? Never to be heard from again.
Nope, that's right. But here's the thing: I'm burdened with a conscience. I hate to make this about me, but it's my hangout. I'll just say I'm burdened with a conscience. There's a lot of if I weren't burdened with a conscience, I would be ruthless. I'd be rich. I can't think of another R word to complete the alliteration, but you get what I'm saying.
Okay.
Ruthless, rich. Yeah, ruthless, and.
But rich is so dumb. I mean, I saw so many rich people. They're so dumb as hell. I mean,
yeah, they can afford to be though.
Yeah, they can afford to be dumb.
Yeah, but they're piece of shit walking on the damn thing. I mean, they cannot even wipe their ass correctly. Come on.
Yeah, they can afford to have other people do it for them though.
Yeah, but so what? They still give you shit in a sack of wine.
And they're not even laying in a nursing home, and they have stuff in. They have to wipe their butts for them. Got it. Whew, man. I'll tell you though, that marriage thing. BGS. Oh, by the way, I guess I have to commend you on your hangout the other night. I said to myself, I saw 9 minutes and 10 seconds in, and I'm like, here we go again. We got somebody. We got another challenger.
Challenge day.
Challenge day.
Yeah, he picked the wrong day.
Yeah, he picked it because I'm telling you, you went off. I was like, oh shit, listen to this. I listened to the replay, by the way. I wasn't on live, but it was still funny. It was still incredible. And the dude changed his tune real quick. He was like, "Oh shit, I think I done stepped in it."
Yeah, well, you know, it's you know, especially when I found out his age. You're 24. You got kids? No.
Mm-hmm.
You been married? No.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna tell me I got two daughters old at your age and older. And you're gonna tell
Yep.
me
Mm-hmm.
what I can say and what I can't say and how I can correct women. Please.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Was the Killmonger guy?
No, I don't know who he was. He was somebody that he sounded like he was a fan of Cynthia G because that's what he took exception to my Cynthia G video, which if he
Okay.
had been more polite, we could have discussed it. But he was telling me, he told me one that he agrees with holding women accountable, but he says I don't hold men accountable on my channel. And I said, have you? Which is wrong, but I said, so which videos have you listened to? And he told me I said, how much of my work have you listened to? And he said, well, a fair amount of it. I said, like how much, what percentage? And he said, I listen to you every other week. So I started naming videos that I have challenged men and held men accountable. And he said he hadn't viewed it. So I said, so how can you tell me what I haven't done if you haven't heard it?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I took exception to. Huh?
Was
Excuse me?
it Ibmore guy?
Was it Ibmore?
It was a guy who wanted, and he also didn't know what the acronym Ibmore
stood for. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had a really he had
Long
that
name.
and he actually took exception to MGTOW because he knows I'm a MGTOW. And he didn't know what MGTOW was. He said, well, MGTOWs hate women and blah blah. I said, no, MGTOW is not against women. He said, but that's not what I heard. I said, because you don't know shit about MGTOW. MGTOW is against the state, not women.
Yeah. Because there's one guy that's been going on other channels, like who's like Itmore, who's like a Cynthia G fan, and got like a really long ass name.
Oh yeah, Single Mothers for Itmore or something like that.
No, not that one. It's like Itmore, like one man army against racism.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I see my brother's channel. I time him out immediately once I go on there.
Well, he's polite when he comes in my section, so I haven't done anything to him.
He's polite, but I mean, you know, I know he was City G, so you know, he automatically gets timed out.
Well, as long as you're mannerable. Now, if somebody's in there that has a beef against you, and you continue that beef, and then the guy has a wrench, you guys have the wrench. Okay, you go ahead and do whatever it is. But saying as long as you're polite in my chat, I don't really go after you. Now, if you come and start some smack, well then I'm gonna block you. But I'll invite you on first, and I give you two options: either come on and face me directly, or get blocked. And most people just choose to get blocked. But this guy had a bone to pick, and so he got a chance to pick it. He just picked the wrong one.
All right.
And he did understand, and he did get quiet and said, "Well, you're doing a good job."
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm burning to say that, you know, I'm just a tourist, okay, but I think that what you said about Miss Cynthia was very, very encouraging to all the to the men.
Mm-hmm.
Completely. It was very encouraging. Very encouraging. So true.
Yeah, I told him I told men if a woman doesn't respect you, if you have to work for a woman's respect, you don't need her. She should respect you before you even think about dating her.
Right.
If she don't respect you, from the first meeting, if she disrespects you from saying hi, then you turn tail and you go the other direction.
My feeling is there, like I said, plenty of fish. If the bear grabs a salmon and he looks at it, if it don't look great, he throws it at, grabs another one.
Mm-hmm.
He grab another one.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at it.
That's very liberal.
And she's never had me on her channel to debate.
Who's that? That would be
Cynthia G.
that would be pay-per-view worthy.
Don't we supposed to pay her to get
No,
her
it wouldn't.
ass?
It wouldn't take that long.
No, it would be the pre-debate hype, and then of course it would be the technical knockout in the first round.
Like
it wouldn't take
first
that
5 minutes.
First 5 minutes.
Yeah, it probably won't take that long, but I give 5 minutes.
Well, black men aren't building or protecting black women. So why, for women like you, why should black men do that?
I guess she got more masculine. I mean, I'm not subscribed to this, but you know, I can see once in a while that she's getting more masculine for some reason.
She basically she's her ego has inflated. That's all it is.
Yes.
She has 40,000 subscribers. She has a few dollars rolling in, and now her ego's inflated.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, I get.
And she's playing in a pool. She just got in this pool. I've been in this pool a long time. So as far as because she tries to play the what they call quote unquote conscious or hotep card. I've been in the pool a long time, so I know how to pull her card. I just pulled her card. So now she has to redo her whole base. So now instead of talking about guys, she has to have guys come in and join her. She has to recruit them. So
exactly.
She's changed her tune. She's changed her. She's done a weight at 180.
Back to the center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Contradicting. Yeah.
No. I know. But I never took her seriously though before until that video, and then it was actually a favor for Kevin Samuels.
How so?
He emailed me. He said, "Have you ever heard Cynthia G?" I said, "Yeah, I don't pay attention to her." And he says, "Well, what about this video?" I said, "Yeah, well, I said I'll look at it for you." So I saw it. I said, "Okay, I understand where she's going," and that's where it came from. As I started listening to it, I said, I had a little rant in me on this, and that's where the rant came from.
Here's the thing.
It was something that she didn't expect.
No,
I was listening.
Really true. Real.
I was listening to. No problem. I was listening to her a year ago, and she didn't sound like she. The few videos I heard from her, she didn't sound like she was attacking black men. She was mostly going after cave beasts at the time. And I'm trying to figure out. So when did she start switching targets? Is what I'm.
It was cave beast and cave beast and who was dating cave beast or female cave beast.
Okay. Okay. And see, here's the thing. I look at Cynthia, and she's not that. I don't find her. Of course, I'm. Me. I'll find. I don't know.
No, she's not. She's not unattractive. No.
Yeah, she's attractive. I get it. She's attractive. It's just. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's a stick. I guess it works well for her. It works well.
Right.
I would love to have her on my channel. There's a whole lot of folks I'd love to have on. No offense to you, got present company included. There's a whole lot of folks I'd love to have on my channel.
I guess I'm not the person people challenge very much.
But I heard if you pay her $500, she'll come to your chat.
If what?
If you pay her $500, I heard somewhere that she will come to the hangout.
If I pay her $500, you're gonna have to come do more than come to my hangout.
Really? There you go.
And it's gonna have to be for a weekend. It's not
Thumbprint, thumbprint.
Thumbprint, right? Right. $500. She's gonna have to. Yeah.
You gotta get a cash down on that.
Yeah. She's gonna have plenty of lube too.
And dancing and the whole thing.
After BGS gets done with her, she'll be talking. She'll actually be smiling on her video. Hi. She'll switch up. She'll start doing cooking videos.
I don't care if she smiles. She's gonna walk funny getting on that plane though.
What's that?
I don't care if she smiles or not, but she's gonna walk funny getting on that plane.
Yes, you ain't shit.
And he never claimed to be.
All elderly and children should loafer. Morning elderly and disabled.
Walking funny.
So on that plane, what happened to you, girl? Yeah, you let them know what happened to your ass.
No, I think she'll be smiling and doing cooking shows after.
What she do?
I know she. I know. I'm just saying.
I don't care.
She gonna love black men again.
As long as I get my money's worth, I don't care what she does. She can cuss me out. She cuss me while it's happening if she wants to. She probably will. You dirty bastard, you.
As a teacher, you ain't shit for them.
BGS. Like BGS. BGS. You
Yes,
black goddamn shithead.
hey, be like 50 Cent been shot 9 times and I walk with a limp.
Oh man. That's
she gonna earn them $500.
Yeah, boy.
Oh my god, it was so funny.
Where she live? Does she live where?
Seattle.
Oh, Seattle.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
That's a much shorter trip than DC.
Oh yeah. She's like what 90 minutes? No, a couple hours away.
A couple hours. Yeah, DC would be a 4 or 5 hour flight. $500, huh?
Yeah, $500. Man, we old school, quite be. $500. $500 to what? Show up on the hangout? Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, brother. Yeah, man. $500.
$500 you spend in the weekend, unless you're Nicole Murphy or something like that. Then I'll accept a day. But $500, you spend a whole weekend, sweetie. We can do a live. We can do a time on a live stream from my house.
Do a live stream. That's right. A live stream at the a live stream at the house with the cameras going. Okay. I'm telling you, that's pay-per-view worthy, brother.
Ain't nobody got to know. Just come back with a couple of bruised ovaries. You be all right.
Like I said, BGS, you're gonna leave that woman smiling. I'm telling you. She'll start doing cooking shows. She'll be wearing an apron and talking about how she makes corn fritters.
We're gonna change that. We're gonna make her change her wig. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, that too.
Hey, let me stop cooking on her, man.
Like I said, I got the pure. I got the store brand corn oil. I'm holding it right now.
You got me clowning her, man. Oh Lord.
Man. Well, that's
you should have started with that $500.
Blame Gigi for that. She brought that up.
Oh man!
Come on, it's funny, but she's a pretty girl too. I mean, I understand.
She ain't that pretty. She ain't $500 pretty.
Well, see, BGS,
I get prettier than that for a tenth of the price.
You're in LA, baby.
I need Bitcoin.
Your view
is What's it? What, Kawhi?
You're in LA. Your view is skewed. To me, someone like me, she might be a 7. To you, she might be a 4. But to me, she might be a 7.
Okay. She's about a 6. She's about a 6 right about now. She's a 6. I give her a 6. She's above average.
I think she's an 8 because I like her broad shoulders and.
Well, that's a detract from that. You're a woman. You like broad shoulders.
Well, I think no, I'm no, it's not I'm a woman. Hello, my father's an artist, so I can recognize the beauty.
I know.
So.
Yeah, but most men don't like broad shoulders.
There's no path for the broad shoulders.
And she has a high bone cheeks. No, I think she's an attractive woman.
You can't be able to
if she's gonna be broad shoulders, she's gonna be one of them big Amazon women. Then you can accept the broad shoulders. Then you have to bring your hard hat with you.
Right, you have to.
It's gonna be rough. Yeah, it's gonna be rough. You gotta do some tossing.
And the jackhammer. And you gotta bring that jackhammer too.
Oh, good Lord. Okay. You're lying.
Oh man.
Maybe a cement mixer.
Yeah, that too. And a crane, maybe a crane. I don't know. A crane too.
Anyway.
Anyhow, you know what, folks? It is 12:17 on the East Coast.
Yes, sir.
And a brother got to head in.
That's right. You actually have a job.
Yeah, I actually have for BGS for now. For now. That's how I look at it.
We always talk in the present, brother.
Yeah. For now.
We say you have a job, so we try to keep it. We trying to make sure that you keep it. So
yes, I'm trying to keep it up until it's a long story, but I hope things change soon. And at that point, it's gonna be on like hot buttered popcorn. Let me tell you. I'm telling you, it'll be on. You'll be seeing me hanging at that point. You'll be seeing me hanging out with Phil and Lovely T. You know.
Well, hey, you probably get some season suite at the Phillies.
Yeah, that too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
be in a luxury box.
Yeah, there you go. They're ending that. Well, actually, if you saw me last night, I was actually at the Nationals in DC.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll do Philly too. You know.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Hell, I'll do. We go. You know, DBGS. If I get out there, I want to do. I don't. Are you into baseball in any way, shape,
a little bit?
Mm. We'll have to do the Dodgers at some point if I get out that way. Well, I have peeps in San Diego, so hopefully, yeah. But definitely a Dodger game. I've never been to Dodger Stadium. I hear it's kind of old and decrepit, but it's lively.
They just redid it.
Oh, they did? Oh, okay.
Yeah. When Magic and the crew got in, so they just kind of refurbished it. So
cool. That's good. Yeah. I kind of happened to watch those guys play the Mets the other day. No, actually, it was yesterday. I have MLB TV, and it gets me a lot of games. Gigi, have you ever seen baseball?
Only on TV. No, I've been looking at this, but I understand. Not really, actually. No.
Okay.
Football.
If you ever come to DC, we will have to do a Nats game, and I will explain all the finer points of the game of baseball.
Perfect, exactly. Because I never get it. I don't understand.
Yes, it's a complicated. Yeah. It's a game you learn growing up through life.
Right. Exactly. Thank you.
It's very complicated. You're welcome.
Yeah. It was super fun tonight. Thank you.
It was fun. Yeah. But I'm gonna have to roll, you guys. All right. I appreciate it. I really appreciate y'all coming on.
Thanks, Quad. Thanks, BJ.
Thanks. And remember, and let's remember, in the words of Char Willie, what's Truss got to do with it?
Hey, Quad B, when you title Truss, don't put like 2 S's at the end.
Oh yeah. Truss. The Ebonics, instead of T, put an S. Yeah.
Oh,
what's Truss?
Okay. What's Truss? Why is he talking about construction? Trusses? Bridges? All right, but no, I appreciate BGS, GG, and Zero, and and
Extended clips.
Clips.
Yeah.
Thank you
Oh, and
guys.
actually put a voice to the name. Yeah.
Yeah, clips.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I've been a long time listener of everybody, and
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, it's changed my life for the better. So thank you so much. For real, for real.
No. Well, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you. This is my family. You guys are my family. So thank you for real.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. And as I always say, peace. Hey, peace, deuces. God bless y'all. It was real.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Peace.
Peace.
One.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah, you too now. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right.
Good
All
night.
See y'all later. I'm about to go watch Luke Cage.
All right. Have fun. Have fun. Take care. I'm in I got up to episode 3, so I still got ways to go.
I'm at 6, so I think 3 when you start when get real. Did you watch all the way through the end, or did you just?
I think I watched it to the end. I might have fallen asleep, but I think I may have to rewatch it.
That's when things really start changing.
Yeah, it looks like Luke is embracing the hero role as opposed to last year. So we'll see. But yeah, like I told my wife, I said if I could have Luke Cage's bulletproofness and Kilgrave's mind control, oh Lord, the world would be a much better place.
Luke Cage visit the Purple Man.
Luke Cage. I love I said to myself, that's got to be every nigga's wet dream to be a bulletproof black man.
I mean, like thing about Luke Cage's character is like he only works in the community. He don't even care about like going out and saving the whole world. He's like, I'm caring my community right here.
Typical super. Well, Spider-Man started out that way, and then he.
Hello? Quabi, you still there? Hello?
Yeah. 0? You must be muted or something.
No, I wasn't muted.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, what happened? What were you saying?
I was trying to call out for it because like when you start talking, then like all of a sudden like I didn't hear anything.
Oh, okay. So I don't know what happened then, but you were saying about Luke Cage. You were saying something, and you cut off.
Oh yeah, I was saying like it's like about community and all that, and I mean he eventually became like one of the Avengers anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but,
there you go.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like you'll see, cause like you'll see like he become one of the start the Heroes for Hire, which I'm waiting to see that in action.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's I'm looking to see that too. Yeah, and then I had to kind of read about Misty. Apparently, I had to go back. Wait, I'm like, what the hell happened to her? I had to go back to it happened in Defenders, which I started to watch and then stopped. I don't know why I stopped, but I'm have to go back and watch that.
I watched all of them. I made sure to watch all of them.
I've seen Jessica Jones' first season. Jessica Jones. I think I started watching The Punisher and I stopped. And I have not seen Daredevil yet. I've not seen Daredevil.
What? Like Daredevil's like where all this started from.
Yeah, I know. That's what. I'm gonna have to go back. Right now, I'm going back and watching all those movies in the main cinematic universe that I've missed. Because I watch. I got my wife. Me and my wife sat up and watched Black Panther a couple of weeks ago. Last weekend.
Yeah, I remember that came out. I've been waiting on that movie to come out since I was a kid. That
Hmm.
was like one of the first Marvel superheroes I ever read. Like
Yeah. Okay.
the first comic book I ever had was like it was a Fantastic Four comic, but it featured Black Panther. That's when I first
Oh,
heard
okay.
about it.
I wasn't into the comic books like that, to be honest with you, but I do remember on one of the local stations in Philly in the 60s, they had some really cheaply made Marvel cartoons of, Thor, Iron Man, Submariner. Of course, Spider Man was, made, but it was something made by somebody else.
Yeah.
I remember seeing those, but I never really watched. I never really got into the comic books.
Yeah,
That's
I didn't really get into it that much until later on in my adult life. Like I think like the first thing when I started getting back into it was like 19, and I read like the Civil War arc, which that was pretty cool.
hmm. Oh yeah, I like Civil War. I did like that. Oh, you're talking about the movie,
No, no,
Captain.
no, not the movie, the comic.
Oh, the
Like,
comic. Okay.
yeah. I mean, the comic was like all different. Like, in the comic, it was dealing with like superhero registration, and it started off with like
Right.
with like some new villain with some heroes that are called the New Warriors, trying to do this reality show against like these villains that were like trying to stay out of trouble and everything like that, and they pretty much picked a fight with them, and one of them had like the ability to explode, like which his name was Nitro,
Hmm.
and like when they started messing, when he exploded, had to be a school nearby, and when it exploded, it wiped out like the whole school with the kids and everything in it.
Damn.
So that started like the whole conversation with the government, like one do superhero registration. So there were some people on it, and some people against it. So Iron Man was like for it, Captain America was against it, and it started like this whole civil war about it.
Oh, okay, so that's how it ran. That's how it went down in the comics.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, the
yeah. I
movie
mean,
was a little different.
yeah, and like, I mean, but like but except in the comics, like Captain America didn't die and then come back later.
Hmm. Okay. Got it. Wow. But no, yeah, I like I said, I'm kind of getting into these Marvel heroes. And I think part of what the appeal for me is the fact that they can fight and crack jokes at the same time. Or one of my favorite lines was in the first Thor movie where some creature comes from Thor's planet to Earth and these guys are looking and somebody says, "What, is that one of Stark's creations?" The guy goes, "Man, that Stark, that guy never tells me anything." That shit was funny as hell though. I was like, oh, they thought something. No, that wasn't something Stark created. And
Yeah,
I was telling my wife, when she was watching Black Panther, she liked it, and I told her, well, that's like there's 20 movies and they're all connected. So she's like, okay, well, you can tell me about it because I'm not going to sit and watch them all. I'm like, I know, dear. Work on your
yeah,
doctorate. Work on the
yeah.
doctorate. I'll tell you about them later.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember when I first heard about it. I was like, I thought they would never make that Black Panther movie. I was like, you had like a brother that's runs his own country, doesn't answer to nobody, is like the richest character on there, and like probably more intelligent, than, like almost all the scientists, all the white scientists in the Marvel universe.
Hmm. That's
Has like
right.
has like the has like the most advanced technology. Like I mean, like even like when like when like some of like the courses like they have in Wakanda, like I think they had like they showed one that had like Wakanda science, and that's like and like Wakanda science like the highest level education. You got to be like it's like grad school level
Hmm.
stuff.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 I loved the sister, his sister. She
Yeah.
she was on point. Loved her. course, they were all kind of course, and being a man, I'm looking at them and thinking, damn, they're all cute. They're all cute. I'm like, so let me go to a place like Wakanda, and I'll be like looking around, and okay, and they'll be like, where are you from? Do I really have to tell you? Can you tell by how I talk?
Yeah. I think like a few years ago like BET did like a cartoon series, but it was like 6 episodes, and like when they showed it, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, so you wouldn't even see it anyway.
Oh God, that sounds like something a white network would do, but that's right. Wait a minute, BET is a white network.
White.
That's right, it is a white network. Never, my bad. Hey, Zero, man, I'm gonna have to roll off of here, but
all right.
But look, I appreciate you guys all showing up for little Quad B, and I'm gonna have some things popping. Hopefully, in the next couple of weeks. I've got some stuff up my sleeve. I want to try to see if I can figure out a way to bribe some people into subscribing to my channel, because look. I looked at Kendra. She started like a few weeks ago. She up to like almost 700 subs, and I'm like, wait, whoa. I'm like, I'm stuck at 2. I gotta do something. No, not this.
I mean, like, be fair, you're not as pretty as her, so
that's true.
That might help.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. She is kind of cute. She was talking about how she would wear jewelry, and I'm like, I see some earrings in that in that Avi of yours. So I see some earrings. But yeah, she's she's nice. Her, Char. Now aren't they all from Chicago? Her, Char, Ming. They're all from Chicago, right?
Yeah, Char, Ming, and Char Willie. Yes, and Kendra. Yeah, they all from Chicago.
See if I go out there, I'm gonna be like, look, we're gonna have to do something, but you never know. But I will say this, I will tell y'all, if you ever come to DC, we'll holler at me and we'll do something. Now there are a couple of people already here. Nitro is here. I think Jay Sean is down in Virginia, south of here.
Yeah, I live in the South too. I live in Nashville.
Oh, you live in Nashville? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh God, there was a girl there was a woman I met in the '80s who was from Nashville. I almost broke up with my girl who I'm married to go with this chick, but I said no, I can't do that. That wouldn't be right. But I was feeling. There was a chick. She was down there. I met her at a convention. Oh my goodness. But that's every time I think of Nashville, I think of her. Of course, I haven't talked to her in years, in like 20 years. It's been well over closer to 30 years. But I'll be honest. I'm not as you can tell, I ain't no MGTOW, or I'm not really a MGTOW. I love women. That's just how I am.
Yeah, I couldn't really ride MGTOW like that much. Like I said, I get like what they saying, but it's just like,
yeah, I get it too. I get it, but women. That's what God put them on the planet for a certain reason.
Yeah.
And so speaking of women, let me go back and crawl into bed with mine and just lay there for a few hours and get up in the morning. You can, I still have, I still have mine. My wife, she's a good one. She's good. Yeah. I couldn't have done better. So she's a good one. Anyway, hey Zero. Well, I guess I'll holler. I guess I'll see you on Discord in the morning then.
All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, man. Well, you take care. And it was good talking to you. And thanks for joining my live stream. And we'll talk again.
No problem, brother.
Okay. You take care. And as I said, peace, deuces, God bless. And if you're still listening, and we'll holler at y'all later on. Take care.